All right, gentlemen, we're at that point. Decision on the appeal of the AMI Railroad Facility. Want to begin, Mr. Church, or no?
Yeah, sure. This was an appeal on a planning and zoning application for railroad tank facility and loading facility. To the best of my knowledge, not having one is not an option. Location was what this was about. Okay, based on the Idaho rules making, whatever, gas and homes. We allowed a great deal of latitude on the part of testimony from the public, which ends up putting the oil and gas industry on trial every time we do that. But that decision was made a long time ago. I think since we allowed most of the testimony that was unrelated to the actual appeal, I feel entitled to make a few unrelated comments. We were accused of rubber stamping the oil and gas industry's requests, and to have an oil and gas ordinance was an option. It was not a required thing by the state. In fact, we have a neighboring county that's pretty much decided not to develop an oil and gas ordinance and let that state handle it because, they don't want to put their P&Z members and themselves through what we've gone through with the, radical activists, I guess. I don't know how else you describe it. If we were to rubber stamp it, that's what we would do. We developed the oil and gas ordinance because we felt like it was in the best interest of the people of this county. And we do have their best interest in. When we opened this for a great deal of unrelated testimony, there was accusations that if we let oil and gas in, there's going to be an increase in murders and rapes and crime. There's been crews in here drilling oil wells for the last 5-6 years. There's been crews in here doing seismic testing for the last 3 years. There's crews in here laying pipe for the last 2 years. And I don't think there's a real noticeable increase in crime caused by that. And listening and watching national news, areas where there's high crime is usually areas where there's high unemployment. So I think that one of our responsibilities is to do what we can for job creation. And as for the appeals, 2 were based on procedure, conflict of interest, common sense told me at the time that if everybody in the county stood to gain pretty similarly, and myself, it wouldn't make any difference if it was located there or in Fruitland. It would make a difference to the person that's selling the land. I think that would be the conflict. One of the reasons we delayed decision was wanted an opinion from Anne Marie, and her opinion being, or at least I gathered that, was that those people that live out of the area really don't have standing in this. the Romanucks are truly the only ones that have a case in my mind, and I do feel sorry for them. Will this affect their business? They say it will. I don't know. I don't know what data there is to back that. Will it affect the price of the property? I don't know that either. I know wherever we put this, and we have to put it somewhere, there's gonna be people against it. Campo's testimony that they unload fuel into storage tanks right there in Ontario that are, I think, bigger than this, 1.3 million gallons of storage. And that's right in town of Ontario. So I think it can be done safely. Planning and zoning put around 20 conditions on this, which I think they worked hard to take the interests of the county citizens into account. That's me. Somebody else has done it.
You did very well.
I give a sermon.
Rudy.
Brother Church. Over the years, I sat on planning and zoning, 5 years. I look at our planning and zoning commission the way it is, the way it's made up today. Geographically, they're scattered throughout the county. I think as far as planning and zoning is concerned, they represent the county as far as location, ideology, and everything else much better than the commissioners. There's only 3 of us. There's a multitude of them. I generally, 99% of the time, go with their recommendations. I feel that in a lot of ways they know the pulse of the community as good, if not better, than what we do. I don't know what goes on per se in Sand Hollow. I don't know what goes on in certain other locations. I know what goes on close to where I live, and God knows I have more gas wells than anybody where I live. Do I have an objection to the gas wells? No, I don't have an objection. I guess right down to property rights. If a farmer or rancher wants to drill on their property, I think that's their right, as long as things are done correctly. So I guess what I'm saying, I said, I will probably side with planning and zoning. And I'm gonna put on my preacher's hat too. I've gone through the ethanol plant, I've gone through the nuclear plant, I've gone through every controversial issue that's been out here in the last 13 years. I have never been called dishonest, corrupt, on and on and on, and that totally offends me. And I'm sure it offends the other 2 commissioners. It offends my family. And those that have that feeling that we are corrupt, the hell with you. I don't care. You're not worth it. Pure and simple. That's all I have to say.
After all those sermons, what I have to say. Huh? It's a good job presenting that.
I feel for the Romanucks, especially. And the actions of the others down the Yucker case, I know that. But I think we've tried to be open-minded about it.
We've gone through the land value issue with particularly confined animal feeding operations, and to date, I have not seen any definitive information to substantiate, the outcome of the devaluation of lands next to these types of operation or any type of questionable operation. But
To me, it's amazing that's part of our resource base for over 70 or 80 years, that's coming out of the ground. There must be a way to do it safely. I find it interesting that we started in 2009. We pleaded for people that sort of engage with us and help us through this, developing or understanding this industry. And we've done our homework, and I think we've done a pretty thorough job of looking into all aspects of it. So I too am fairly comfortable with the planning zoning decision. So do you want to make a formal motion?
I'd like to make one other statement. If we don't approve it, the state's gonna come in and override us anyway. Pure and simple. Bottom line. That's all I have.
Pretty much. At least we got a number of conditions, I think they're good on this.
So anyways, you ready?
Go ahead, Mr. Church.
So, deny, or do you?
You move to uphold.
I move to uphold the decision of the planning zone.
I will second that.
Further discussion? Being none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.